Years since the disappearance of Madison Scott, RCMP continued to investigate. On Friday, May the 27th, 2011, Madison Gerald Scott attended a birthday party at Hogs Back Lake, a Forest Service campsite located approximately 25 kilometers south of Vanderhoof in British Columbia. RCMP says she drove her white Ford F-150 pickup truck, pitched her tent, and was camping with a group of friends, including Jordy Bullock from Vanderhoof. Scott and Eldon, her father, were texting at approximately 11:30 p.m. as she had retired to her tent and sleeping bag before a fight broke out around midnight. And the last activity on her phone was about 12:30 a.m. on Saturday, 28th of May 2011, when, according to Dawn, her mother, there was an incoming call from the guy we know. Bullock was injured and drunk, and she felt compelled to leave with her new boyfriend. According to Bullock, even though she had tried to convince Madison to leave, Madison was already in her sleeping bag and didn't want to get up, so Bullock left her there. Some of the last people to have left there was 3 hours later, approximately 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., reporting speaking with Scott and asking if she wanted a ride home. She remained alone in her tent and has not been seen since, and also the last time anyone reported talking to her. Bullock came back to the campsite with her boyfriend at about 8:30 a.m. the next morning to get Bullock's clothes and sleeping bag before she went on her way to work. Bullock found Scott's tent unzipped with her sleeping bags and stuff moved to the side. She said that she didn't see Scott and never reported this to anyone. According to the police, the following day, May the 28th, 2011, everyone left the campsite but Madison. We believe that something criminal may have occurred between 4 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on the 28th that led to her disappearance. We do not believe she simply walked away, Sergeant Matt McLeod of the North District Major Crime Unit says. For Madison's parents, it has been hard not knowing what happened to their daughter. These are not easy times. Our daughter is still missing and we need your help, Dawn and Eldon Scott, Madison's parents have said. We have learned a lot through this process, but one thing that has become apparent is that information is what drives the investigation. There is no excuse not to call the police with what you know. There is no way to rationalize talking about this case with others and not the police because we need to find Maddie. I just added Maddie's parents. There is a campaign that brings awareness to the disappearance of Madison called All In for Maddie. Police say that they continue to follow up on investigation tips that they receive regarding Maddie, and they say someone out there has information and urges them to come forward. It's been many years since Madison Scott went missing, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police continue to call out for the public's help in piecing together what happened to the 20-year-old female. Madison Scott was born to Eldon and Dawn Scott on April the 29th, 1991. She is the younger sibling of Ben and the older sibling of Georgia. She enjoyed dirt biking, figure skating, horseback riding, team sports, and hanging out with her friends. Scott worked as an apprentice heavy-duty mechanic with her father at MBG Logging. She was described as someone who is comfortable in a dress as well as a work overhaul, says her brother. Scott is described as being vivacious, fun-loving, and playful, has a social personality, and would often do things on spur of the moment. She would often break off engagements if she felt there was something more fun. For example, she broke off an engagement with her cousin Cora Kelly with a day's notice to go to the party at Hogs Lake instead. Still, it is considered completely out of her personality for her to be out of touch with her family and friends for this long. Scott loved to have nice things too. Expensive motorbike gear was left at her campsite, and she recently upgraded her iPhone before she went missing. She is also described as having a caring and affectionate personality, described by her friend Chelsea Little as willing to give the shirt off her back for someone in need. Scott also enjoyed performing with and for her friends in fun, short amateur video productions. She was described as someone who would bring it all together. It was reported that she focused more on social endeavors at school, and though she managed the academic side of school, she wasn't too interested in academics. Scott was single at the time of her disappearance. She was on a couple of dating sites at the time, and there was a guy who was interested in that she was interested in for some time who was at the party on Friday night for a bit, but he told her that he wasn't interested and just wanted to be friends. According to her father, she was a bit upset, but nothing drastic. It is not known whether there was any further investigation into the guy who Scott was interested in. There was another boy who was interested in her, but according to Dawn Scott, she wasn't interested in him. And according to her, he got a bit huffy in private, according to only a few people, and not in a public display, and has been put through the ringer since he was the last call on Madison's phone. There were a number of items which Scott took with her to the lake that remained on, in, or around her vehicle after her disappearance. Many of these items were of value. Items found around the personal truck after her disappearance included a two-person, dual-toned blue tent, sleeping bags, toiletries, and costume jewelry. Items in the open bed of the truck after her disappearance included a hatchet, a cooler with wine and beer, a gas can with some gasoline in it, and motorbike boots. Items found within her truck, which was locked, included some clothes, her purse, and an expensive camera. Numerous items were known to be missing at the time of her disappearance. These items included the clothes she was wearing, an iPhone 4 with a robin's egg blue case, and a large cluster of keys with Ford key and a Gothic-style lanyard. Scott attended Nechako Valley Secondary School, where she met Bullock in 2007. She was new to the school, and she and Scott became friends soon after she arrived. Though this relationship dwindled by the time they had graduated in 2009, the party was a birthday party thrown as a yearly event by a man who was present at Hogsback. The party was advertised by a Facebook event, and it was reported that there were about 50 people who attended the party. There is a single outhouse about 50 feet across from where Scott was camping, and it's on the other side of a gravel lot, and depending on the weather, the lot can be noisy to walk across. There are a total of 10 campsites at Hogsback Lake, but it is known to host parties of multiple hundreds of people. She is described as a white female, 5 feet 4 inches tall, and weighs approximately 160 pounds. She has ginger shoulder-length hair and has a piercing in her left nostril. She has a bird silhouette tattoo on the inside of her left wrist. If you have any information and you want to know how you can help more, or if you just want to give anonymous tips, you can please call the RCMP in Vanderhoof at 1-250-567-2222, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477, and there is a $100,000 reward for information resulting in the location of Madison.